I'm just going to keep going round and round just to see any new rooms that are available. But I do love the way every time you come back it's slightly more homely, like they've put in more and more of their own personal touches. I think that's nice.
Looks like Erend and Katalo moved their stuff in.
It's like this weird campus of different like tribes and peoples. It's really cool. I think if anything at this stage I wish there was more people, like not necessarily important characters, just they brought a few more people in. So it started to become almost like a little community. I'm just making sure there's no data points in here. Yeah, I think so. Okay. It's good to be back, yeah?
Plugging in that power cell downstairs must have turned on these holograms.
From the moon?
Okay.
Aloy, there are more supplies in the chest. Help
Thank
yourself.
you. Thank you, dear.
Holograms? Gaia, I thought you said the data here was lost.
I was able to repurpose the equipment to store the data you have acquired in your travels.
Okay.
It's a shuttle. Like the one I blew up at Farzena's launch facility. Varl seemed pretty interested in space travel. I guess he wanted a keepsake.
I guess it's just a place where you can have like a little build-up of artifacts and treasures and stuff that you found, like holographic forms of it. There isn't anything else other than that I've seen. So fair enough. Yeah, there's a lot of rooms and a lot of things here, so I'm just trying to exhaust it all before I have the final conversations and we head back outside to take on more quests and make more progress.
Varl must have picked this up at Silent's workshop. I guess it's what Silence used to capture Hades before he moved it to that orb. I don't know what bothers me more. That he tricked me, or that I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, again, not much going on with Silence right now. He is an enigma, that man. Let's see, not really very many weapon upgrades available. Yeah, we definitely need to add some more purples. We started to gain access to them. What do we even need for this? Small machine core. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find some cool stuff soon. Okay. I should probably upgrade this at this stage. I really should. As we head towards the end of the game. Let me create a job for this. Squirrel hide. Horned lizard as well. Yeah, so we do need to hunt some squirrels down. For sure. This one's not that important, I think. Yeah, this one. Again, we got the horned lizard. We still haven't come across any of those yet. So we've got to find them.
The old ones used holograms for everything.
This is... Yeah, that's the exit. I want to head down to where Beta is just to have a chat with her as well. Is it from here? Forget how this worked. Yeah, I think it's this bit. This is where she is. Vicious.
Hello. Hey, Me again. Was there something else?
Yeah, I definitely find her energy annoying, but she's very, very important, so we'll have to just deal with her. Yeah, this is the thing I've been curious about. I remember talking about it in a previous session, so we'll leave that till last. Let's just get over the small talk first.
So do you have everything you need to build the rig and pulse generators? Gaia sent me the schematics. The designs are modest, without the capabilities of Hephaestus, but they should work. Not that it matters without a mega clearance. I'll find it. Just try to have the transport ready by the time I get back.
Yeah, just leave that to us.
So have you been upstairs at all? Not really. Varl sometimes comes down here to talk. He keeps asking if I'm okay. I thought he only wanted to know about my productivity, but it's almost like he actually wants to talk to me. Yeah, I think he does.
She doesn't seem that convinced, but yes, that's good. Hopefully he gets through to her a bit.
Have you talked with anyone else in the base? I speak with Gaia. She asked me how I'm feeling and my opinion on various topics. I didn't expect that from an AI. That's all thanks to Elizabeth. She believed Gaia had to care, not just follow her programming orders.
I know. Independent emotional processing enabled the previous version of Gaia to create you, after all.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, maybe you should take a leaf out of her book, yeah?
So, aside from Varl and Gaia, who else have you been talking to?
Zoe told me how you met after your escape from the Hades Proving Lab. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth would be doomed. My escape would have been for nothing.
But they didn't kill me. And thanks to Varl and Zoe, I was able to recover. You said you and Varl talk sometimes. What about?
He told me about your tribe, the Nora, and the proving ritual you did. I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never be able to do the proving.
It does require a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter.
I don't think I'd be suited for any of them.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora, then.
Oof. Okay, let's talk about Tilda. Tilda's one I'm really curious about. The house, paintings and files. Let's just go from the top left.
What else can you tell me about Tilda?
She liked to talk about her paintings.
What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that?
She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect.
Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage?
She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses.
She is not easy to talk to, man.
You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel?
It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home.
And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it?
To them, it looked like I was still in training, toiling away, alone.
I feel like, again, we've had this conversation already, but it should be very simple. Like, if it's highlighted, then it should be a new conversation. I'm pretty sure she explained this before. Either she's just reiterating what she said before, or they just, if it's been a while, they re-highlight it again. I'm pretty sure she mentioned this. That's why I was so curious about the house and whether or not it's actually still real and it's somewhere we can go and visit, and that's where they are and that kind of thing. But let's just keep going anyway, since they are highlighted. It seems logical to try. Maybe they kind of say the same thing, but with added lines or something, or like a slightly different perspective. I don't know.
So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view?
I could see whitecaps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave.
You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files?
Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many.
They didn't interest you?
I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis.
Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use?
No. Any information about them was redacted.
Of course. Okay. At least we got a little more information.
It's time for me to go. I'll check on you later.
Yeah, sure.
She's annoying, she really is. But they got to make our version, our clone of Sobek, be the cool one. She's our hero after all. It would be a bit weird if we ended up liking a clone, another clone more than Aloy. That just can't happen narratively, so I think this is probably the right way to do it. But yeah, that house I'm definitely curious about. I mean, maybe, obviously in my head I'm like, wait, could it be Tevura's bunker that she's talking about? But the time I would have imagined that Tilda was around when Tevura was too. Either they were in a relationship. Unlikely, like all of that stuff is speculation. I'm imagining it as a different place to Tevura's bunker, but I don't know. I don't know if we've got enough scope to kind of go to multiple different places like that, so it might indeed be the same place. We'll have to see. Okay, so I think we're back to start now. We have everything. There was the one room which had what was it, like the machine override thing, but I can't bother. Let's speak to our friends and see what we got.
Let's just say I hear about you going west.
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
Okay.
Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here. Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, the place is fine as it is. You know, metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that. Who needs a bunch of vegetation?
Yeah, like I've been saying, I've gotten into plants a little bit more because I've had Coco, my cat, for a while. I've kind of stayed away from plants in case she messes around with them and the soil and all that kind of stuff. And so I hadn't. But my place in Turkey, I've added a few more plants to kind of spice to liven the place up a bit. And to be fair, I do kind of like it. Maybe it's a sign I'm getting old. Who knows?
How are things with Katalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny.
Shit, that was
Actually, I played strike with him. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it.
I would have liked to have watched that game.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other data was as easy to deal with. Now, to be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. Make myself useful.
Just give it time.
Yeah, he should just play Elden Ring, man. Just one guy with a big hammer. I'm sure he'll be able to make his way through it.
You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back, and she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports. Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
That's funny.
What else have you been studying with your focus?
Yeah, I've been looking into this Vegas place you found.
Oh, yes.
Gaia showed us everything that happened when you went to get that Poseidon thing. I mean, this Moreland guy seems pretty smart. Though, risking the Tenakth clan lands for a light show is a bold move.
Maybe I should check up on them at some point. Just in case.
Right.
Okay, that's that.
I need to get going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help? Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
Speak to Varl and Zoe, and then we can really wrap this section up. Again, it's been a while, but there's always a lot of dialogue and information here. And for the vast majority of it, I do enjoy listening to it and spending time with these people. So let's speak to Zoe first.
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Tevura would do.
Oh, before I forget, I'd like to discuss the land gods again, if you have time.
Okay, it's another quest.
Any progress with your plan for the land gods? Is the reboot code ready?
It is. But there is difficult work ahead. Gaia warned me that because the land gods are linked together in a network, the code must be delivered to all of them. Most are in plainsong, but in recent years, 3 of them wandered off. So, T, and Do.
We have to find them?
No, we know where they are, but they're hard to reach. So, wandered into a lake and sank. Do ventured into a dangerous canyon, and T broke down amidst a herd of machines.
Okay. Tell you what. You go to Plainsong, handle all the land gods there. I'll take care of So, T, and Do. I'll need their locations, plus the reboot code.
I'm sending the data to you now. My people made shrines near where each land god faltered. When you see them, you'll know you're close. And once again, thanks for your help.
We're not gonna let your people starve, Zoe. I promise.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes to side questing, I mean, I think the primary side quests that are worth doing are the ones related to your primary friends in the game. So I think it's definitely a good idea.
Are you guys training with Erend as well?
If you count trying to stick a spear in his gut as training, then yes.
I've been told. Please tell me you weren't being serious, though.
Of course not.
Good.
I was going for a couple of broken bones. He called the Utaru leaf grazers. Laughed at the idea of us simple farmers being formidable fighters. Before I knew it, he and I were battling it out in the common room. The man is slow, but he can throw a hammer around. Don't look so worried. We're evenly matched. For now. Next time he's going down like a load of boar dump.
Just try not to kill each other.
Injuring his pride should be good enough.
Again, I miss all the good stuff, man. I would have wanted to see that.
Is there anything I can help with around here?
Oh, no. We're doing fine.
Are you okay?
You and Varl have been friends for a while.
I like to think so.
Oh boy.
I was wondering, what do you know about his mother?
Oh.
That bad, huh?
Why do you want to know?
He's spoken of his sister, Vala, but I noticed he avoids talking about his mother.
She's the war chief of the Nora. Best warrior the tribe's ever known. Tougher than a Thunderjaw, but she could be pretty harsh at times.
I see. That must have been hard on him. Thank you for telling me. I feel silly not being able to ask Varl directly.
I wouldn't worry about it. He's probably afraid Sona will scare you off someday.
I'd like to see her try.
You ever play that board game Erend set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him. I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
You and Varl doing okay? Training, I mean.
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, just the two of us. But then who'd look after Erend?
Well, there's always Katalo.
Leave a loud Oseram with a brooding Tenakth. What could go wrong?
What's everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of my meals with Beta. Thought it might help her feel more at home. Maybe even get her to sleep up here instead of in that dark basement. She would not be moved.
I appreciate you trying.
Patience reaps the best harvest. I'm not giving up hope yet.
I don't even think she referenced Zoe coming down. Wasn't it just Val that she mentioned?
How much have you read on Ted Faro?
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and pride condemn it so easily. For one spirit to diminish in such a way, I'm not sure if I should hate him or pity him.
Yeah, it's an interesting take.
Found anything else combing through that data?
Varl and I have been looking into the animals of the old world. Apparently there used to be thousands more species roaming around than there are today. Can you imagine that? I'd give anything to see them, even as holograms. Though I know that without Artemis or Apollo, that may prove difficult. At least I can find comfort in knowing Gaia used many of them as inspiration for her machines. Her memory honors them.
What are you going to learn next?
I'm not sure. I asked Gaia for suggestions, and she brought up data you found on something called a museum? From what I gather, the old ones would store knowledge in them for all to see and learn from, like you've done here for us. Maybe one day more people will be able to use this place to learn the way we have.
That sounds crowded, but nice. It looked like you were working on something over there.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
Okay.
I should get going. Hopefully I can bring back what we need to capture Festus. After that, I'm gonna need everyone's help.
We'll be ready.
Right, the final set of conversations, and then we're going to head out into the world. Let's see if he's going to give us a quest as well.
Aloy, you're here. Did you meet with the Quen already?
Not yet.
After all the trouble you went through getting those subfunctions, seems unfair you have to deal with these Quen on your own too.
It's safer this way. They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
Okay, at least he has the Zeniths. Let's get through the less interesting ones first, and then we'll finish off with the Zeniths.
You feeling okay?
I was just thinking about Beta and all that time spent with the Zeniths. To think someone would make a person just to lock them in a room to use when needed, like some sort of tool. Elizabeth Sobek sacrificed herself for the world, and yet they have no trouble treating Beta like a slave.
Another reason we have to stop them. How's everyone dealing with Beta?
I tried explaining what a clone is to Erend. He was totally lost. Then Zoe said something about 2 trees coming from 1 seed. That seemed to help a bit.
It's a good analogy.
Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe and Erend tried to beat each other up.
I might have heard something about that.
Erend made some jokes about the Utaru, called them twigs or something like that. She challenged him to a sparring match. Turns out that Utaru speed is a pretty good match for Oseram brawn. Things ended in a stalemate. Now they spar once in a while to see if they can break it.
Well, let me know how it goes. Anything new with you?
Erend tried to convince me to help him build a... what did he call it? A drum set? But I'm pretty sure Zoe would kill him if it got any noisier around here.
Those two are having a hard time getting along, huh?
They're both stubborn, but they mean well. I'm sure they'll warm up to each other eventually.
I could totally see Erend running some kind of band.
Is there anything you need from me before I go?
Not unless you can somehow make me or Erend better at that Tanacht board game, Strike. Now that Catalo started playing, I don't like our odds.
I'm surprised he agreed to play.
Someone might have told him Erend helped defeat the Mad Sun King. He got friendlier after that. Still doesn't talk much, but he'll sit down for a game whenever he can.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't really talk about Catalo enough.
You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Tevura, how he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work. It's good to see you and Zoe enjoying yourselves.
We're learning a lot. I've actually been looking through the data to find ideas for a gift, and to thank her for helping me study the glyphs. Something from the old world that she's never seen before. Instead, I found out they gave each other stuffed animals. If you ask me, stuffing a dead animal with anything, really, doesn't sound like a good time for anybody.
Maybe Gaia can help you find something else. How's training?
Discovering something new about our past every day. When we first met, you asked me if I ever wondered what this world looked like when the old ones lived here. I had thought it was strange at the time, but a lot has changed since I left the Embrace. Now I'm just trying to make sense of everything I thought I knew and versus everything I know now.
The change is hard, but it gets easier over time.
Yeah, also sounds like the path to wisdom for me.
So, you and Zoe got into a bit of a fight, huh? Should have known better than to suggest Hephaestus could make new land gods to replace the old ones in Plainsong.
The last thing I wanted to do was dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
Right, let's oh, no.
Looks like things between you and Zoe are better now.
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react. And the Karja, and well, everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
Okay. Final conversations.
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
Okay, that was it.
I'll be in touch if I need anything.
We'll be ready. Everyone's been briefed on the pulse generators as well.
Good.
Okay, so I have finally wrapped up all of the conversations here. I believe that was probably about an hour or so worth of conversations, but honestly, there's a big gap between them, and as I've always said, they're optional. So if you find them a bit boring and you're not excited by them, you can always just skip them while you're playing. Obviously, for you guys listening, I apologize if they drag on a bit, but I'm interested in them, and well, it's my playthrough, so you guys are gonna have to watch, or you can always skip ahead if you don't like it.
Looks like the old ones.
Not much I can do about that. So let's get out of here and see what we need to do next. Let me just step outside first,
Anytime they want it. I don't know if I'd like that.
and I'll decide which side quest I want to do.